What's up, all you beautiful apes? I wanted to go over something real quick about what Lou versus Wall Street was just hit on his last video that he was discussing about the gold, silver, and cryptocurrency. And for those of y'all that don't understand this, all this stuff right here can be found online to see what's going on. I utilize DuckDuckGo and just kind of be able to search different stuff because, like I said, there are some people out there that are suppressing some information, suppressing facts, suppressing news stories about what's really going on. So I wanted to touch base on talking about the gold, silver currencies, being able to deposit into certain institutions where you'll be able to deposit that in there, that you'll get cryptocurrency that you'll be able to use through whatever kind of debit card, credit card type deal. It'll be where you could swipe it to kind of get away from the whole paper currency type stuff. So a few years ago, and actually I think it was within a year, the World Economic Forum was discussing about digital currencies and the tremendous opportunities that can make the financial system more accessible and fair. Now, the World Economic Forum, this is a lot of some of the high-tech guys in the world globally. So as I started kind of doing a little bit more research and I started coming across some information, here back in April of 2021, why are China and Russia buying so much gold? It's just don't make that mistake of thinking this is all routine. So what's happening is a larger global currency shift is underway, and it may be happening much more quickly than anyone has realized. The People's Bank of China has added about 100 tons of gold to its reserves since December. Russia has bought 106 tons of precious metals since last year. China's gold reserves now stand at more than 1,950 tons per Bloomberg. Russia has more than 2,200 tons and has the fifth largest stockpile by the country. Beijing's gold purchases, which amount to 100 tons since December, come as it has been less aggressively buying treasuries amid the U.S.-China trade war. So we see how nations, countries, or in a sense, they're buying up as much as they possibly can because they see the writing on the wall. Because this has to happen. This is where we will be eventually be coming away from a paper money type deal. Some other interesting information that I came across was where the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, was the IMF Universal Central Bank digital currency could reshape future global payments. Sweden and China are running pilot projects of digital currencies to krona and the digital yuan. Again, this can be found all on the internet, all on the website of actually what they're doing. So, and of course, like I said, these superpowers, especially China, they're setting themselves up right now. They're setting themselves up to become the next superpower. There are some people in play right now that are looking to make sure that does not happen. But we are kind of seeing a shift that is even right now. So when we talk about with the current stock market, with the current what's going on with these meme stocks and everything else, this is going to explode, and it's designed to happen this way. This whole transfer of wealth type thing is real. It's legit. The nefarious people of this world, they already see what's going on. They see the writing on the wall. They can't stop it. It's going to happen because of a lot of different things. Now, being from Louisiana, one of the things that I've known, even when I was growing up, back in the early 80s, 90s, there was a gentleman here at LSU, Harvey Bernard, who basically presented this information to Congress to kind of present what was called NESARA. Now, some of y'all say, oh, that's a whole big, conspiracy type thing, NESARA, whatever the hell that is. But NESARA is the National Economic Security and Reform Act. And what that actually was to help do was to kind of eradicate, how we have all these global securities and various things throughout the U.S. government that's kind of hindering us from, everything else. And it's a hedge against inflation. It keeps things more in check for this. So, granted, we've got this whole NESARA Act that it actually did go to Congress. It just never went through. They never processed it through. Now, some will say that they did to an extent, behind closed doors. We don't know. There's a lot of things the government does behind closed doors that we'll never know about. So, but what happened is that this gentleman, Louisiana, this gentleman Harvey had this really great, wonderful idea, and now instead of it being Nasara, now it's just Sara, which is the global part of it, the global economic security. And this is to basically for everybody, because eventually what's going to happen is once this all happens, the whole debt, the world debt's going to be eradicated. So you're asking yourself, how the heck can we do that? Let me explain something to you real quick. So ABC News, I think this was back on March 2021. This is what the headline says. Vatican low on reserves to cover deficit, seeking donations. Think about that for a second. The Vatican warned Friday that it had nearly depleted its financial reserves from past donations to cover budget deficits over recent years, and it has urged continued giving from the faithful to keep the Holy See afloat and Pope Francis' ministry going. What do we know about the church? What do we know especially the Vatican? They have it all, and they've been accumulating it for centuries. This is, to me, was what really got me was, there's something to be said about this. So let's go back for a second. So we have the Vatican is now saying they're struggling for money. Now, this, again, March of 2021. January 2021. January. Now, granted, this may have happened a few months prior. We don't know the exact dates. But this is what came out in January of 2021. 34.7 quintillion in gold seized from Vatican. The most, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, anything else like that, the most powerful church in the world. And then they're having money issues? Seriously? Maybe there's something to be said about what people call conspiracies. Maybe there's something to be said about this, because this doesn't make sense to me. How you basically go from, we know the Vatican Church, we know the Vatican, I mean, they're basically a country within itself. I mean, they could finance everybody time over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because of the wealth that they accumulated for centuries. Think about all the knowledge and information that is within the Vatican walls. I mean, tons of it. Tons of information. Information that you would look at and be like, why isn't this made public? Because they don't want you, because it's all about control. They want to control your mind. They want to control how you do, how you act, how you feel, everything. That's a different story. We'll go on to something else, though. So with that being said, you've got the Vatican that's having all this with the deficit. You've got supposedly what was said was that 34.7 quintillion in gold seized. So how is all this kind of wrapping around all this? Especially with what Lou was saying about how gold and silver and what's fixing to happen. Yes, it's inevitable, and this has to play out this way as well. Yes. If you're in the stock market, if you're holding on to certain stocks, yes, it's going to happen. It's going to blow up. It's going to happen. It has to happen. There's this, and it is. It's going to create, in my opinion, it's going to create Nasara here in the U.S., but possibly just Sara throughout the entire global economy, which will be a good thing. Now, many people will say it's hurting different things. I don't want to get too far into details of it, but again, just to kind of touch base on what Lou was talking about was, yes, be smart. Be smart with your investments. Be smart with your money. We're not giving financial advice on this one, but like I said, if you're in this stock market, if you're waiting for those numbers to hit, those brackets to hit, prepare yourself. Set yourself up for when you do collect. Set yourself up to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your family. Have other investments and other things that tangible investments, because you're going to need it. Because when this does happen, you're still going to have to be able to go shopping and buy stuff and stuff like that, And hell, even look at Robert Kiyosaki and all these other people talking about how gold and silver is going to skyrocket. That they believe it could go up to tens of thousands of dollars just for gold. Silver is going to be right behind it. So who knows? Maybe they know something that we don't know. And it's a possibility. We just got to stay tuned to see what really happens. So, again, guys, this is going to be epic, epic proportions. Some of y'all are going to get kind of scared about what's going to happen. At the end of the day, it's going to be great for the entire global economy. It's going to be great for all of us here. Because, granted, like I said before in my last video, what's in the dark must come to light. The truth will come out. Will you be able to accept that truth? Will you be able to see and understand why things had to happen a certain way? Why are things happening now that are going on that you're like, man, why isn't somebody saying anything or doing anything? There's a reason. So again, there's a lot of things that's fixing to happen that we're really going to be shocked about. Possibly more for the good. But again, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So y'all stay tuned. We'll kind of follow up with y'all some more on some other stuff that's going to be popping here. I'm going to do a separate video on something else, just to kind of give some more insight as to what all this means and kind of unwrap some of this stuff. But stay tuned. I'll be doing some more follow-ups about Lou's information that he puts out there to kind of give you a little bit more in-depth details about it. So just check with us. Talk to y'all soon. Like, subscribe, comment. Have any questions? Let me know. Peace.